Piggybacking on that decriminalization question, so I do have a question for you, but I want to give a little alternative narrative to preface this. So I'm heavily research-based in human trafficking, and one thing I want to say about the Amnesty decision is that, in fact, the human rights organization, what people don't recognize is that they did a lot of due diligence to that decision and the research behind that. We don't recognize that Polaris doesn't use a scientific methodology. No fact-checking. Most of the most public figures, 12 and 13 years old, 100, 300,000 girls, has all been disproven. So on that note, sex sells everything. And you have increasing alternative feminist narratives that are coming out and saying sex is the only thing that's selling anti-human trafficking. We didn't talk about at this conference the H-2A visas and the sheep herders that are being exploited on Colorado Western slope, the domestic workers, the agricultural workers in the state. Sex trafficking is a super important narrative, but it's only one. It's only one. Okay? So on that note, yeah, manipulation, the sex industry is always going to be around. It's our oldest profession, right? It's always going to be here, and there's going to be those exploitative situations and the manipulation that happens there. But what Amnesty based that decision on is that you can't address that until you bring it above ground. And that when you have consensual adults, a consenting woman and a consenting man, even if you're there for survival purposes, if that were no money, that sexual consensual relationship between adults would be legal if there was no money. So my question for you guys is, do you think that criminalization of the sex industry is about criminalizing sexual violence or criminalizing non-normative sexual behavior, paying for sex? And have you looked into any of the additional research on that?
Yeah.
First, I'd like to say prostitution is not a profession. It never has been. And when you're in 6th grade and you're checking if you want to be a doctor, a teacher, or a nurse, prostitution is never listed on there. It is an oppression, and it always has been. So we should never use that term of it. When we look at decriminalization, it's not for the opposing argument is like, if we decriminalize it, we can tax it, we can provide them health care, and we can make it a profession. When that's just a lie, really, because we're not able to do that. You're allowing, like you said, the demand to rush in. It's same with like just what happened in Colorado. If you would equal it to the marijuana, where you made it legal, and then you saw the onslaught that came here, all right, and the problems that came with it. We just interviewed 12 survivors yesterday, and they were saying definitely that was the reason why they came to Colorado and why their parents brought them here too, is because marijuana was legal. So if we make prostitution legal on all fronts, such the seller, the buyer, whatever, we're saying it's okay to buy and sell a person. We don't really care about you.
What about just decriminalization?
You know, and so I'm totally against it. Obviously, there's been a lot of research. Look at Sweden, where they tried that. They tried to legalize it, and it did not work. The violence against women went off the charts. So when you say we're not going to allow this, then obviously that has to follow is violence against women should go down.
Right? So. But they made it illegal.
Now, obviously, this conversation continues. So this is the inaugural event of Chosen Advocates and this huge mission. And so you can really keep talking about this. What you stated is very clearly stated, but we don't have enough time today to inject another comment.
Like a John or like say
I was just going to say, you're right. It's a big one to unpack. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I think it's so hard to like one solution to fix the whole thing, you know? But
so I want to go ahead and continue to stay on time. That's my very tough job as the MC.